Welcome back to the Stogie Geeks Show. This is the Sticks of the Week section where we're telling you about what we have been smoking. I want to thank Paul for allowing me to have the previous two segments about boxing, and thank the panel for showing up today and awesome. Whatnot. You know, these are conversations that come up. I was super excited to talk about this, so I do want to thank Paul for the opportunity for allowing me to host the show and get a historical perspective, get a promotional perspective, get a fan perspective. Yeah. So I definitely want to thank Paul for that. This is the Sticks of the Week section. This is where we talk about what we've been smoking. First, let's check in. We are smoking the TAA 49 by Christoph, the release. It's a Salomon. I'm going box worthy all day.
Love it.
Total box worthy. It's an amazing.
Yep.
TA, so these are only available at TAA retailers.
TAA retailers exclusively.
Yep.
So if you if you're in the area, I mean, the closest place would probably be Two Guys up in New Hampshire,
yep.
Edley's in Albany. But then
yep.
if you're outside of the Northeast, check out your TAA retailers. Besides, they do a lot for the business, but also they have a lot of cool exclusive cigars. One of them being the Christoph TAA Salomon. So
yep.
make sure you check it out. It's tasty.
Absolutely. For those of you who are new to cigars and might not understand TAA or need some more information on that, you can email Joe H at StogieGeeks.com. That's Joe H at StogieGeeks.com, and I will get that information provided to you with a list of retailers. If you give me a town and a state you're in, I'll find the retailer next to you, so I'll do all the homework for you as well. And definitely you can check out the Christoph Salomon TA 49. Joe D, rating, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, absolutely box worthy.
Box worthy?
Yeah.
Cool. Put the microphone a little closer. I'm having a Paul moment.
Yep.
What have you been smoking this week, Joe?
Start off with the Don Pepin Blue 2012. I recently came across this gem with a little bit of age. Nicaraguan Corojo Oscuro wrapper, Nicaraguan Criollo binder, and Nicaraguan Criollo Corojo filler. Smoked the Robusto 5x50, listed as the Invictus, and absolutely gave this thing a box worthy all day. It's phenomenal. Nice price point, $6.75, box of 24. Barnyard notes, taste of age, and married well together. From the typical Don Pepin Blue with that bang, I think with a little bit of age, the flavors married together well. Mm-hmm. And it described as a medium plus cigar, but more towards actually a medium full with that age, medium plus. Mm-hmm. To hold it down for the better.
Yeah. Don Pepin Blue always comes out with a high, a 93, 94 yep. rating there. Have you ever tried the black?
I haven't, no.
Yeah. I like the black, even though it's got a lower rating than the Don Pepin Blue.
Prefer it over the blue?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Nice.
Just because it has a pepper nuttier component there, but it's good. They're amazing sticks,
nice.
Classic. The bands too also have different representations of different countries there. So if you're into some of the little marketing geek that I am as well,
I appreciate that,
it's got a good history to it as well. I had the Black Label Trading Company's Loyalty. There, I've been getting into a little bit more or rekindling my relationship with the Black Label series there. The Royalty, I did the Robusto. It has a Criollo wrapper from Ecuador, Honduran binder, and the fillers are from Nicaragua. Most of the Black Label cigars have a higher presence in the Nicaraguan type of component. First, you have hints of coffee, a little bit of creaminess at first when you light it up. Good smoke. It transitions. The final third tends to kick in with a little bit more leather and spice with that yep. Cigar. Little bit of hint of coffee. Of course, it kind of complements the cream. I definitely gave it a 5. So if you go out there and if you see it there, definitely check it out. That was the Black Label Royalty.
Solid. My next one's the New World Puro Especial Criollo 98 wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler, $8.50 price point. Smoked the Robusto 5.5 by 52. Give this a box split. Sweet nuttiness. Debuted at the IPCPR 2017. All the tobacco was aged 3 to 5 years, and released in limited quantities over the last year, and came in under the Habano Especial name as of late, and moving well. I give it a box split. The New World Puro Especial, solid stick.
After I give my next stick, Dan, we're going to ask you after this, what have you been smoking?
All right, let's do it.
Other than, or if you want to include Christoph, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But let me know what you've been smoking so you can start to think about that. But I knew you were coming on the show.
Okay.
So I had to have a Christoph.
Nice.
All right.
Right? I had and this was a recommendation from Jared.
Great.
I had the Christoph San Andreas Robusto.
Nice.
The size is 5.5 by 54. It has the San Andreas Mexican wrapper, correct? Binder is from Ecuador. Filler is Nicaraguan. Let me tell you something. I want to rekindle myself with this brand.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of fade in and out of it, you know, always. It's just a habit there. And when I had it, I took some time. First of all, you get a real strong leather component.
Yeah.
For sure. You got a wrapper that has that San Andreas Mexican wrapper. Got to light it a lot, though. I don't know if that's because it runs a little wet or whatever, or the Mexican wrapper.
Yeah, it could have been the batch.
With there, but you know, you do get some a good leathery component, balanced. It was rated as medium there. I tend to kind of say barely medium. I don't know if that's if that's just my palate there, but you do get. It does have a interesting spice component to it.
Yeah.
So I did some research as to what that spice is, and I couldn't quite taste it, but it said it had the leathery aromas with a eucalyptus freshness to unfold within the cigar. I couldn't find it. I couldn't describe it.
Yeah.
But it did have that type of flavor to it. So again, the Christoph San Andreas Robusto, I gave it a 5 for sure.
Nice.
You know.
Yeah.
Is this the San Andreas with the new
It's
label?
good point. Good
little
point.
gold
Good
in there?
point.
Yep.
And how the conversation started is I used to say I used to like this cigar. Why does Christoph not have this cigar? Why did Christoph get rid of this cigar? I used to, you know, and there's a bunch of the lines that they took off, and then you know, Jared was making some recommendations that are pretty close, and that's how I came to this conclusion.
Yeah.
So.
You had the Galerones line that we had for a few years with the DR4, Brazilian Habanos, Sanita de Plata, Intensivo, Box Press. All great sticks, but we retweaked some of the stuff, and we added some new facings in the last 2 years, where you had the Cameroon come out, the San Andreas, the Pissed Off, the Connecticut, and there's some of those cigars that have similar notes to that old Galerones line, like the Habano or the San Andreas.
DR4 in the Connecticut.
Sure, yeah, absolutely, yeah. We kept the Connecticut, but you know, we used to smoke the Sanita de Plata like daily.
Loved it.
Daily.
That and the Intensivo.
Yeah,
I actually,
and the Intensivo, and I still come across them every now and then, and they're still great.
If you find an Intensivo in a brick and mortar, pick one
absolutely.
up because they don't make them anymore.
But the San Andreas is out of, you know, one of those original extensions. The San Andreas I've always really enjoyed. Just like the Sanita de Plata, that really rich Maduro flavor that comes out of that cigar. And I really like in that Robusto size as well. And you're right. It's like, I would say on paper, you know, if I'm recommending it to a customer who's never smoked it, it's medium to full, but if for someone who's a little bit more experienced, it's a little bit more medium because it's so smooth. Even though the tobacco is very rich, it's a very smooth smoke. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't yet.
Yeah, for sure.
If I can add, that's one of my favorites. I've been through about 12 boxes.
Which ones?
The San,
the
quite a few,
Andreas?
but San Andreas,
Yeah.
and I've got a couple with some serious age.
Nice.
And, yeah, I'll chip you off next show.
When we were in between segments, Jimmy asked me what he was smoking, and I said the Pissed Off Christoph.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, "What? The name? Yes, that is the name. It's the Pissed Off Christoph."
And it's damn good.
There you go. It's damn good. That's a good rating.
Yeah.
It's a brand new rating for the show.
I'll tell you what, Glenn knows what he's doing, man.
Yeah.
You know, and if you haven't tried the pissed off for any of the new line sessions, definitely check it out. You know,
I love the name.
Yeah, the pissed off.
The history on that came
That's
from
the
a fan.
newest one that it came out with.
Yeah, we
correct?
reviewed that. I think in February when we were on the show. And yeah, that came out last year at the trade show, and it's I'll tell you what, that is, besides the fact that it's a mover, it's a really good stick.
Yeah, it is. It is a
You
good
know.
stick for sure.
And the name came from a fan.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, it came from a customer. Yeah, Glenn.
Did it?
Yeah.
I believe Jared was there too. Glenn and Jared were at an event, I believe, in the Carolinas, and a customer came up to them and was like, "Hey, got a name for you guys. Use it, whatever. I'm not gonna
Right.
sue you or whatever it is."
Sue ya.
Pissed off Christoph, and they, it started as the name, and then I think they added the tobacco, and they had a blend that was, kind of works with that that attitude of that kind of name, and here we are, and it's grown to one of our top-selling SKUs.
Right.
I like it.
So if you know a cigar shop owner and you meet one, give them a recommendation, and,
Yeah,
and who knows, they might use it.
Yeah.
What have you been smoking?
I've been kind of bouncing around. Obviously, after when you're at the trade show, you bump into your buddies. Guys I've known from when I was on the retail side. Guys I've come to know throughout my travels now. And it's funny. This week I went back to Sober Mesa. I hadn't had that in a long time. I forgot what size. I think I had it in like a Lonsdale Corona style size. Really good, really smooth. Really enjoyed that. I tried the new Davidoff Late Hour, the new Winston Churchill extension.
Yes.
Really liked it. Really good. Different. You could definitely, I think it's a cask aged smoke. You can definitely pick that up in the flavor profile. Thought that was really good.
What'd you give it? What'd you give it as a rating?
For
Half a box,
for the
fiver.
late hour, I definitely do at least half a box.
Yep.
For the Sober Mesa, I do the fiver. And then I'm trying to think. I just smoked something else, but I'm slipping.
What's one that like really? I know you've been giving stuff that sticks out, but one that really sticks out from the trade show from what you
really
did.
sticks out. You know what I actually tried and I really liked and I was impressed with was the new the Altadis H. Upman AJ Fernandez collaboration they did.
Yeah.
It was a sleeper. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Sometimes you get sticks and you're like, oh, you know what? I like H. Upman. I really liked the Banker when it came out. And the Ingot, which was an extension. And I don't smoke a lot of AJ stuff, and so I didn't really know what to expect, to be honest with you. And I smoked it, and I was kind of like, "Whoa, this is not what I thought it was going to be." And it's, in terms of new stuff, definitely the Late Hour probably stood out the most at anything.
Sure.
But that H. Upman AJ blend, don't sleep on it. It's good.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I really liked it.
I've yet to seek that out.
Yeah.
Because AJ did two, correct?
They did
for
a-
the show?
they did one for-
with Caldwell.
Well, AJ did a Monte Cristo one. They did
really?
a Romeo and Julieta one. They did H. Upman one. They did one with a couple of their lines.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was good.
Awesome. Definitely some sticks to seek out.
Yeah.
For sure. From the show. How was the show?
The show was cool.
Yeah?
It was my first show, so unlike some other people you've probably had on, I only had one thing to base it off of as my live experience. It was great. From a business perspective, everyone who was there as a retailer was there to play, which was great in terms of controlling your time at the show. And it was it's great to see people I haven't seen since I've been on the road. And it was a good show. I mean, it was a little light some days, once we got to the end.
Sure.
But in terms of business and in terms of, Christoph itself, we did great,
Do you have that championship belt? Is it on scene?
I don't have it on scene.
Don't have it on scene.
The championship.
Every year, Jimmy, the cigar industry gets together in July, has the IPCPR show, and that's where all the new retailers can see what's coming out and what's available to them. And so a lot of the brands and blends usually launch new products around that time. So that's what we're making reference to.
We should do a fight with that.
Oh, with my belt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta
I don't know.
Well,
Here we go.
I actually, I am a promoter.
I know.
I get it.
So listen.
You get two
All right.
promoters in the same show.
Yeah.
Makes for a long show.
So I think you do such a great job in speaking.
Sure.
You should probably do our commercials for us.
All right.
Boy, you can sell. I mean,
Hey.
you make it.
I'll give you my card.
You make it good.
Yeah.
You make it real good.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
makes it enticing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
He does. There you go. See that? Making things happen here
Yes, sir.
on the Stogie Geeks. the cigar. I hesitate to. Someone had given me the Diesel Grind Robusto.
About that.
What?
About that.
Right, the Diesel Grind
Nice.
Robusto, 5x54. I don't know. I have and it was someone who gives me a lot of good recommendations as well, and they were like, you like strong cigars. Well, let me know what you think. And I guess this is one. It came out at the Cats Fest in 2014. It's supposedly their brick and mortar edition only, so it protects against the online there. Had some hype behind it. Wrapper is Habano Ecuador Oscuro Sun Grown. Binder is Habano wrapper from Honduras. The filler is Nicaraguan and Honduran, which I tend to gravitate towards that blend.
Right.
Sometimes, like a lot of the times that when so I was moderately excited because of the Nicaraguan Honduran combination. I was trying to leave the fact of the creation of the cigar, who did it, all of that stuff out. I had it. I mean, it's amazing. This was created by AJ Fernandez, and I did that after my research, and I still can't get into the blend. Like it's just so after I smoked it, what I do when I critique a stick is I take a picture of it, so I remember what I smoked. Then I under the picture I usually do some notes of my personal notes, and then I go and do the research for the show, where it's grown, how it's grown, all that stuff there too. Then I try to do a research as to who rolls it, because sometimes everybody rolls other people's stuff sometimes, and as soon as I found out, I was like, that explains why I just can't get into it, you know. So I gave it a try one if it's around. If someone gives it to you, it's okay. But to me, it just left, and I had that as the first stick because I was told it's really strong and it's up my alley, and it is strong. They were hyping it up, and I had it as my first stick, and it just left just a taste in my mouth that I just wasn't comfortable with. But so with that being said, that was the Diesel Grind. Take it for what it's worth. That's my rating. Let's move on.
Staying on the AJ Fernandez kick, smoked the Enclave Broadleaf, Pennsylvania Broadleaf wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler. Smoked the Toro, 6.5 by 54, $9 price point, 4 sizes. I enjoyed it. I gave it a box split. However, this, along with the original Enclave, I feel needs some time. Little new. I am a big fan of the original Enclave. Got a box sitting right now, but
so are a lot of cigar shops, because, like I said, even though I did not give it a higher rating on this show, it does well.
It moves.
It moves. Like,
AJ's hot, man.
From a retail perspective, it moves. So
it's one of those sticks that debuted the IPCPR 2017, medium to full. A lot of hype behind it. I want to see if the hype was real. I enjoyed it. Earthy pepper and coffee notes, but needs a little bit of time, in my opinion. This is the first broadleaf used by AJ Fernandez.
Right. After Joe D does another one, JJ, start thinking about what you've been smoking. Give us some thoughts about that, okay?
You got it.
All right, and don't worry, Jimmy. We're gonna ask you the same question right before we get out of here. So start thinking about what you like.
Stick given me last week by Paul, the EP Carrillo, New Wave, Connecticut. Ecuadorian, Connecticut, Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan and Dominican filler. The 6.5 by 52, 6 by 52 Divinos. Love this stick. Give it a box worthy. The price point is $6.25. Can't beat it. 4 sizes, box of 20. Buttery, cedar, leather and spice head. Basically everything you want in a stick. I'm not a Connecticut guy, but I really enjoyed this stick, and I think it could be found, enjoyable for smokers on any level. Where you want that full, that mild stick. It really had a little bit for everybody in there.
Awesome.
EP Carrillo, New Wave, Connecticut.
And would you give it?
I got a box worthy.
Give it a box worthy?
Yep.
Okay. JJ.
Yes.
What have you been smoking?
Well, I'll start with the TAA that we smoked today.
That's a good idea.
As a disclaimer, I'm not a Christoph guy.
Sure.
That cigar
Get
is
out.
amazing.
Right.
That cigar is
Not
amazing.
my best customer. good friend. Good friend.
right.
That cigar is amazing.
Isn't it?
It is amazing.
I'm
So
glad Dan brought a box. Maybe
You're
we can
welcome.
negotiate another
I
stick.
agree. Yes, that cigar was very well. Other than that, I usually stay within the cigars I like.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, it's Caldwell. Lately, I've been on a big David P. Ehrlich from Imperia Cigars, MLB Ventures.
Good smoke.
I enjoy every bit of that cigar.
Yeah.
Hard to keep lit sometimes, but other than that, I don't have a bad thing to say about it.
Right.
I tried the new Avo. It's got 7 different.
The Ritmo.
Ritmo.
Yep,
7 different blends. I was expecting it to be a really full cigar, and it's about medium full. I really enjoyed it.
Really?
Smoked it on the golf course.
Yeah.
It was a really good cigar.
I remember when you told me that you got that cigar. I'm like, make sure you eat.
Yeah.
Right, that's the first thing I said. Make sure you eat it.
Why?
It's got 7. It's got it's called the Avo. Right.
Yeah.
They've been around for years. They came up with a series called the Synchro series, where they've incorporated some of the Nicaraguan blends into them. But now their latest from that series is from when Avo Senior had passed, and it's got 7 different blends from 7 different places within the world that are coming into the cigar. To me, it's complex. It's got a lot going on.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just got a lot going on.
That whole line is great.
Hey, Jay, how'd you find
Yeah, the whole
the Fogata?
the Cinco line is great, and you know that's a testament to the Nicaraguan invasion, if you will,
Golden age,
or of when classic facings that have been around for years and years and years now start to incorporate the Nicaraguan blends into their either wrapper binder filler,
Yep.
and it really speaks to where Nicaraguan cigars as a whole, they're gaining more and more market share. If you look at regionally specific cigars every year, more and more Nicaraguan cigars are replacing some of that, especially from a consumer perspective.
I'm curious on Jay's take on the back third of that particular cigar. I've tried all the sizes numerous times over, enjoyed them until that back third. I don't want to say train wreck at the back third. That's too strong. But just
To be honest with you, I smoked 2 sizes. I
Okay.
smoked the Toro. I smoked the Gordo first,
Mm-hmm.
and it was consistent all the way a little past the back third, and then it just got to be too much. I agree with that.
It's a little bitter.
The Toro was a lot worse, though. The Gordo size was nowhere near. Maybe because it's a bigger cigar, not as much filler.
I agree.
So
That was the one for me.
It was nowhere near as bad as I had the Toro second, and the Toro, the back third, I had to get rid of it. It just became way too much.
That was it for me.
But the first 2/3 were really good.
The Gordo played better all the way.
Yeah, no, the Gordo was I had the Gordo on the golf course, and I almost smoked the entire thing.
Yep.
But the Toro, same thing. I had to get rid of it.
But
right towards the end.
how did you golf?
Exactly.
I don't remember. We'll say good.
They lost in the game.
That's a good question. See, I always ask those.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Hey,
Well, there was no kids, there was no wife,
Right.
so it was
Right.
great. It was great.
you
It was
know.
dialed in.
So, Joe, what else? You have a couple more?
I do.
Okay.
The Bellas Artes, translated as fine arts. This particular stick you were run heavy on for a while. I finally get into it. Finally get to.
The Bellas Artis?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why I resisted the urge to try it for a while, but tried the Robusto, the 5.5 by 52. Gave it a box split. Rojita wrapper, which is a proprietary hybrid. It's described as Havana 92 binder, Nicaraguan and Honduran Brazilian filler. $89 price point, box of 20. I enjoyed the stick. Semi-box pressed, pepper creaminess, and a little cinnamon in there. And further research, the Rojita is 50% U.S. Connecticut seed, 25% Corojo 99, and 25% Havana 2000. It was a good stick. I'm actually revisiting right now. Had a couple of them.
Where'd you get that?
This was at the Gentleman
Okay.
in Cranston.
Okay. Bellas Artes.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I've had one.
Oh yeah, no,
No.
you're talking about it. I could have sworn you.
The Bellassat test?
Yeah.
No. On the show?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Maybe not review.
doesn't-
Maybe not
Out about it
review
experience.
portion. But
What's the what's the label look like? I don't remember that. Seriously.
It's in my bag. Just took it off.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't
Debuted
know.
in 2016. I remember you were talking about. Maybe you didn't smoke it yet, but
I probably
it's just
have
that
it.
It's been in the back of my mind to.
I've been
give
trying
the
to
world.
collect cigars, like
Yeah.
save them since I've been here on
Yeah.
Stogie Geeks, and I got a quite a good pile, so I'll have to dig through. I don't think I've ever reviewed that.
Okay.
I'll have to double check that.
Tune in next week.
Maybe, yeah, maybe if I can find it for sure,
Nice.
for sure. I came across my father number 4, Lancero.
Oh, nice.
It was like one of those things. I'm in a shop, and I'm looking.
Wait a minute.
And I'm looking,
Yeah.
and I'm looking. And I'm like, I'm gonna find something different. We'll try something. And all of a sudden, there was one left in the box, and I says, "Oh, no brainer, right?" My father number 4, size 7.5 by 38, wrapper, Ecuadorian Habano Rosado, binder and filler is Nicaraguan, and let me just tell you, like all Lanceros, if you are not entering the world of Lanceros, you are shortchanging yourself.
Cue the shame bell.
From you know what I mean?
You're a fool.
Like
Totally.
for those of you who are new to cigar smoking, and it's amazing because when I was talking to the shop owner, he goes, Lanceros typically don't do well.
No.
But
Not up here.
No.
Not
but he blown right through that box.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we make an awesome Lancero. And a few different blends of ours, and the Ligero Maduro. A lot of our older stuff, we make a lot
Sumatra.
of Lanceros.
Amazing.
Sumatra.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Ligero Maduro Lancero used to be one of my best-selling cigars when I was in retail. But my Father Lancero is so good.
Yes.
And so many, and the thing is there's so much hype around like the La Bijou line right now.
Sure.
All their stuff that gets a lot of press, Flor de la Centillas, a lot of their newer stuff.
Yep.
But my Father Lancero is so good.
Yes.
And it's so hard to find.
Yes.
But if you find it, smoke it. 'Cause
I found
is
it.
Worth it.
And
What is
yeah.
this? Old file?
You found one, Joe.
I found one.
Right.
I found one, and I
Jealous.
said, "Where did
Oh,
you get these?" Like he goes, they just came in, and he goes,
I think Jana has them too.
Really?
Yeah,
he's
she
like,
should.
He's like, I just threw them on the shelf, see how they would do. Normally they don't do well, so they always usually end up in the bargain bin.
Yeah.
But which is it's like, are you kidding me?
Besides the fact it's my father.
Right,
It's
right.
one of their better sticks too.
Right. It's just amazing stick. Gave it a box worthy all day. If you find one, buy one. They're just an amazing
Just one?
stick. Well, no. Well, I only found one because to
Right.
be honest with you, if there were 5 left, I would have grabbed all 5.
Paul chips in.
And they
I
they still make them.
I know.
Tell your retailer to order. They'll order for you. If you're
know.
gonna buy a box, buy it. Yeah.
But it's amazing how the consumers don't go into a brick and mortar shop and get into the Lanceros. That's the small little thin ones.
Yeah.
It's the small little thin ones. Which I don't know if it's a portability issue. I don't know if it's
Up in New England, it's the Tony Soprano style.
Mr.
Everybody wants
Machismo.
that big stick, like a boss.
Yeah, sure. So like I said, I give it box worthy all day for sure. If you find one, definitely grab one.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. What have you been smoking, Jimmy? Off the cuff.
Well, I feel like a rookie here.
That's okay.
I appreciate the knowledge and wisdom that you guys have, and I'm just listening. Boxworthy, sticks. I hope I don't offend anyone, but
That's okay.
I like an Ashton cigar.
Yep.
Great.
But that was yesterday. Today, what I got here
there we
now,
go.
this is my new one.
Pistol.
The pissed off Christoph?
Oh yeah,
Oh, there's another one there. Take that home with you.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it. It's a fighting name,
Yeah.
so it goes to a fighting promoter. This is my new one here.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
but
go.
it was great listening to you guys as I can talk about boxing or MMA, and listen to you guys talk about. It's like listening to someone who knows wine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they can talk with such enthusiasm and everything. This has been a history lesson to me. Just
Likewise.
listening
Likewise.
to you guys.
Well, likewise with you. See, normally the show Stogie Geeks, we usually interview a roller or
Master blender.
a rep or a
Yeah.
master blender and get into the cigar aspects.
But Joe, a funny thing happened to me at my gym last week. When we had the classic restaurant, in the days when it was permitted, after you had dinner, we'd have a cigar humidor, and we take it to your table, and you pick up the cigar you want.
I miss those days.
Beautiful thing.
And we'd have
That'd be great.
Now here's where you guys come in.
Yeah.
So this guy was telling me, Jimmy, do you remember? I knew I was on top of the world. I would order a cigar at your restaurant. You'd come over and light it with the paper?
Cedar.
Cedar.
Yep.
And then I'd order a cognac, a brandy,
Oh.
and you'd give us the heated brandy with the cigar. I thought I was in heaven.
Right.
I said, well, did you ever take the brandy warmer home with you? Because we will lose about a dozen of them a week.
Right.
But then with the days, I think about it now, I mean, even at a hotel, you can't have a cigar.
Right.
You can't smoke.
Right.
So but that was funny that he just brought it up to me last week, actually.
Yeah. It's a challenge.
Yeah,
It's an unfortunate because there's something to be said about having a good meal with some good company and then relaxing.
nice cigar.
And then even if not everyone's smoking a cigar, just spending
Yeah.
time with someone
Yeah.
over a cigar and just talking about because we're all connected to these
A
things.
non-cigar
right?
fan
Right.
can certainly appreciate the great aroma from a
Yep.
good cigar.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well, and just as we talk, I think that sometimes I go to Blackstone Boulevard and I run there, and there's a guy that walks and he smokes a cigar, and you can actually smell the aroma that this.
Yep.
And I'll be smoking a cigar sometimes. People will walk by. Boy, does that smell good? You know. So there's a lot to be said about that too.
Certainly.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. You have another one to throw into the mix, or
Got one more, yeah. for
Yeah,
good
sure.
time.
Let's do it.
EP Carrillo, the Inch. Paul gave us this last week.
I didn't get to that. I promised Paul I would. It's still sitting there. That's the big one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Full 2.5
Club.
hour smoke. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a 64 ring gauge. Is that what it is?
7x7 Gordo.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
The real
Yep.
deal.
Yeah.
Connecticut broadleaf Maduro wrapper, Nicaraguan and Dominican long fillers. $10 price point, box of 24. Barnyard hints, sweet tobacco, wood notes. Like I said, 2.5 hour smoke. For me, I migrate to the smaller ring gauges normally. There's a TMJ issues in the past, but this thing was big smoke and flavor. A little tough on the burn line. That's if there's any I could throw in critique wise. That's what I found. But big offensive beast of smoke and flavor. I gave a box split. It was awesome.
So you did like it?
Read through that. Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed it.
Joe, did you say 2.5 hour smoke?
Yeah,
sir.
it's got a 70 ring gauge, Jimmy. It's
it's a telephone pole.
like that.
It's a telephone pole.
That's
It's
good
like
when-
a
telephone pole.
That's good when you're traveling by car.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Right.
it was a good stick. I'd seek out the small sizes in that, but that was pretty decent.
That was EP Carrillo.
Yes, it was. EP
Yeah.
Carrillo Inch.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, again, I want to thank you guys for showing up.
Thank
it was
you.
a great
Yeah.
time.
Thanks for having me.
especially to talk about something that I find passionate outside of cigars. Jimmy, thanks for joining us. Joe D, thanks for joining us. Jay,
My pleasure.
Thank you.
and Dan.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week on Stogie Geeks.